Ron Paul has not suspended his campaign and he is not dropping out. But Mitt Romney supporters are free to think that if they would like to. In fact, they can follow through on believing that and not show up at the polls at all for all of the remaining primary states. In fact, I encourage them to do so. Good evening once again, everybody. This is Hell's Unicorn once again. No doubt everybody subscribed to my channel has seen a number of different videos coming up refuting the claim by the various MSM outlets that are arguing that Ron Paul is suspending his campaign. You know, it's interesting. The mainstream media is very careful to wait until an official declaration of a campaign suspension with the likes of Herman Cain and Michelle Bachmann, candidates that never ever got any delegates to speak of. In the case of Herman Cain, he never actually ran for any primaries. But they're pretty cavalier when it comes to reporting the facts regarding the one candidate with a rather divergent viewpoint regarding politics, in this case Ron Paul. And it leads me to the same conclusion that I've always had about the mainstream media, which is they're not really interested in the news or the truth or anything like that. But on the other hand, you have exceptions to the rule. You have people like Ben Swann, and you have a couple others that give you little smidgets of truth. In the case of Ben Swann, I actually have a link to an article about this. His Fox affiliate is not actually owned by the greater Fox Corporation, even though it technically, I guess, is a Fox franchise. It's actually an employee-owned station, and so that's how Ben Swann can get away with actually telling the truth. Because in most mainstream media outlets, telling the truth is a damnable offense. It's illegal, and anybody who does it gets crucified, both figuratively and in some cases literally. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a little catch-22 for the Romney campaign in trying to glom on to this obvious gigantic steaming pile of BS. And it's along the same lines as the Josh Romney thing with him supposedly getting booed off stage. It's a lie. And when you grab hold of a lie and try to make it into your truth, it will completely consume you, and you'll have to keep on building and building and building upon it. And while all of that is going on, there's going to be questions about the actual reality that continues to go on in spite of this, such as the continual delegate pickups by Ron Paul. And to anybody who has not read the official email that was sent out, feel free to do so you can understand exactly what's going on here. I expect everybody to know what's going on here, but sometimes people get onto their computer to check their sources a little bit late, and sometimes they can be dissuaded a bit by MSM output that is obviously misleading. So anyway, I've got links in the description regarding a couple of the source articles in question if you want to go read them. I would actually recommend against it, but it's just force of habit that I try to provide sources whenever I talk about something. This is obviously far from over. I mean, nobody quits while they're winning. And I think anybody supporting Ron Paul has the basic common sense to know this. And plus, if Ron Paul had actually suspended his campaign, I think there would be video of him doing it everywhere, of which there is none. There's just an email stating that he's not going to blow money trying to win straw votes in primaries, which in my personal opinion is something he probably should have stopped doing probably after the results that came out in South Carolina happened the way they did. The delegate strategy is the strategy to go with. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, with prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.